As a songwriter, your compositions are more creative if you understand how chords and scales are related to each other. ChordWizard helps you identify the scale of your new song and suggests related chords that you can use with it. Usually your idea will start with a melody, a chord sequence, or a riff on the fretboard. We'll look at each of these in turn. If you're starting with a tune in your head or from another instrument like a piano, you first work out which notes it contains. This fragment of a melody contains the notes C sharp, D, G, E, and F sharp. We'll use the Notes to Scales tool to find the scale for us. We just need to select each of the notes in the melody, and we find that they belong to D major. If we remove the Hide Synonyms option, other scales are shown too, but these are just alternative modes of D major, which contain the same notes. With D major highlighted, we can send it to the filter. When we return to the workspace, it is selected in the scale matrix, and the related chords are shown with red dots in the chord matrix. These chords are likely to work well with our new song. Let's try a few and see how they sound. For the selected chord, like B minor here, you can find chord shapes to play it with if you switch over to Library View. Now let's remove the filter and try a different situation. Another way that new songs often start is with a chord sequence. This time we'll use the Chords to Scales tool. Let's say we've started a song with the chords C major, A minor, F major, and G7. This is a very common sequence and you'll find it in many songs. We'll add these chords, one at a time, into the chords list on the left. Here we have a clear winner. The C major scale is related to all 4 chords, while the next best, F major, is related to only 3 or 75% of them. Again, we send this scale to the filter, and when we return to the workspace, the related chords are shown. There's one other way that ideas for songs can start, with a riff on the fretboard, where you may not know exactly which notes you are playing. Like this. Up until now, we've been using Relations View with chords and scales. We can use it in another way to see the relationships between scales and the fretboard by pressing this button. Now we add the positions from our riff. There are 2 series of scale modes that contain these notes, one based on C major and one based on G major. Let's try C major. Now that it's selected, we can switch back to Chords and Scales to see all of its related chords. And here they are. To bring this all together, let's try a few of these chords and see how well they fit with our riff. Notice how that last chord worked well, even though it's not directly related to the C major scale. This is worth remembering. The related chords give you a starting point for experimenting, but with care you can still use other chords. Where this happens, it means the song is moving between different scales or key centers, and it can make the song much more interesting. As well as working with relations on the screen, you can also print them to use away from the computer. Let's print these related chords of the C major scale with a relations report. These are the same related chords that we found in the workspace. If you want to know more about using related chords in songwriting, or how scales can appear in different modes, It's all explained in the How Music Works tutorials, with demonstration sounds that make it easy to understand.